February!
Yay!
Second month of the year. The shortest
Hooray.
month.
The February.
It's got Valentine's Day in it.
Yeah. And of course, games. I mean,
Games.
oh
Games
man,
as
every
well.
year I look forward to February. You know, it's the AAA
All right.
releases.
All right. No, I have
New Call
no.
of Duty, new Assassin's Creed. No, wait, I'm thinking November, aren't I?
We'll have
February's rubbish.
none of your sarcasm, Andy, because we've got a
Bad, man.
few heavy hitters, and we've got some fun remasters and some interesting looking indie darlings as well. These are the February games. It's like the Hunger Games, but in February.
And also bad.
Classic action-adventure hack-and-slash Bayonetta brings its weird world and wonderful combat to the Nintendo Switch this month. With ridiculous storylines, including witches, angels, and guns being fired from high heels, it's definitely a hair-raising experience, and by that we literally mean Bayonetta's hair throwing her enemies around in the air. Ha! The Bayonetta games are good. Mr. February's bad.
Yeah, but I mean, they have been out
Doesn't
already.
matter.
Although
A good game is a good game forever.
it's true, Bayonetta is amazing. So if you haven't played Bayonetta, you should. I never played Bayonetta 2 because
Neither
it came
did
out
I.
on the Wii U, and no one owned a Wii U. Except Mike owns a Wii U.
I did, but I
own
still
a
didn't
Wii
play
U?
Bayonetta 2. Yeah.
Weird. Why does he own a Wii U, I wonder?
What else?
What else don't we know about Luke?
What other very dark and
No
frightening
secrets.
secrets is
Does
he
he
hiding?
harbour behind that sunny exterior? No, but yeah, Bayonetta 1 is amazing. It's a really good game. The music's incredible, the combat's amazing. It's a Hideki Kamiya joint, and that guy's awesome. And I'm going to play it because I want to play Bayonetta 2.
Yeah,
So-
it's going to be an absolute slam dunk. It's one of those games that I really, really hoped would come out on the Switch, because I feel like the Switch is just a chance to go like, yes, but now this time for reals,
Yeah.
with all the Wii U games that didn't really quite make
that
it,
was
you know?
like a joke before.
Yeah.
Well, we were just joking about the Wii U, but now really the game is out for real on a real console.
I had one though.
Did you? Yeah, in your basement, no one's allowed in.
A game that became a cult classic, Shadow of the Colossus gets a remastered version for the PS4. Tasked with taking down mighty colossi, you play as Wander, riding around the world on his trusty horse Aggro, and finding their weaknesses. If you missed it the first time around, this might be one to pick up and see what all the fuss is about. So this is from the studio that made Last Guardian,
Yeah.
a game that I absolutely loved. It's got an incredible hit record, you know, when it comes to games, and if you didn't play Shadow of the Colossus,
Played Ico.
Play it.
They
Yeah.
made that as well. That was good. I never played Shadow of the Colossus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it's time
the
for
times
me
they
to
are a-changing.
kill some colossi.
It's Andy's time
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah.
Down here in my crazy Wii U basement.
In my Wii U well, where I keep both adventuring children and the Wii U.
Quiet, you.
Quiet.
You play on the Wii U. Advance my Pikmin saves.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Shadow of the Colossus is good as I understand it.
It's
Why
incredibly
is it good?
It's a great game because it has that melancholy atmosphere. It has an incredible sense of scale. It's really, really interesting because you're taking down these giant enemies, but the combat is, well, there isn't really any to speak of. It's more of a platform and exploration game. So it's very, very interesting. And the variation in the creatures that you're trying to take down is really, really fun. And some of the designs on the Colossi are one of the tattoos that Jane would consider getting. So
Of
you
course,
it's
yeah,
worth
should.
playing it just to be like,
Just to
okay,
see those.
Jane,
Yeah.
I see what you were on about
And
at last.
the story turns out the real Colossus was friendship.
The real Colossus was inside us all along,
Yeah.
and then it bursts out.
And
you
it's
die.
very upsetting. Good.
Hack and slash classic Dynasty Warriors has its next main instalment coming our way. Dynasty Warriors 9 will be slightly different, introducing an open world for the first time in the series, with players able to freely roam on foot, horseback or by boat, and try out various activities alongside main quests. With over 80 characters, each apparently with their own individual ending, it looks like there will be a lot of sword swinging for fans to enjoy. This sounds like a staggeringly large undertaking game-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this series really. I haven't played any of them. Have
I've
you
played
dabbled?
a few Dynasty Warriors, and I'm not really a fan. I just think there's too much going on.
Too
if
much
you know what I
game.
mean. Like when you go and have a battle, it's you versus about 4,000 people.
That sounds cool.
And you're just like, hitting everyone with big swords. And
Still
I'm like,
sounds good.
It's a bit linear, and you're in a field with about 4,000 people. Whereas I'd quite like to sort of wander around and explore and do other things as well as fight 4,000 people at once. It's like a really popular series. I mean,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
evidenced by the fact they're up to 9.
Yeah.
So there must be Something that people are finding in it.
I didn't realise that the Hyrule Warriors Zelda game was part of this series. I didn't realise it was made by the same people.
Yeah, same guys.
I had no idea. So Ellen told me that earlier, and my world has just expanded.
Yeah, but you didn't play it, did you?
No.
So
because on the Wii U. Kingdom Come Deliverance is an upcoming RPG with a bit of a twist, and by a bit of a twist, we mean it doesn't have any of the usual RPG magic or fantasy. Instead, it's set in an extremely realistic world, in the medieval kingdom of Bohemia, where you would now find the Czech Republic. With period-accurate music and, well, period-accurate everything, you won't be able to rely on your massive hoard of health potions, instead having to eat and sleep properly like a responsible adventurer.
So it's like if they made Skyrim, but really punishingly
realistic. Yeah. You know how in Skyrim it's good because you're not bound by any of the physical limitations of a human?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but not.
I like the idea of like a realistic medieval game where, I mean, you don't even have like a map, right? You got to like remember the way to places.
Yeah, the heads-up display is almost non-existent.
Yeah. So you only know you've been injured when your arm falls off, and you're like,
yeah.
Text screen is, that was it for Sir Edgar.
That was it. Sir, not likely. Statistically, far more likely to just be a...
Regulation Edgar.
Regulation Edgar. But I kind of like this new strain of like super brutally hyper-realistic stuff. I mean, I don't think I'll enjoy playing it very much, but it's interesting, isn't it? If there's a market for it, I think it's cool.
I think it will make an entertaining game to play at least for a while.
Just until you die.
Just the sheer novelty of having to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're used to sort of levitating into a room using magic and firing lightning bolts at everyone.
I am.
And they're like, no, it's not.
No.
You can't.
No, you trip over your heavy shoes and break your shins.
Drop a mace on your foot and it gets gangrene.
And that was the end of Sir Edgar.
Yeah.
The first Metal Gear game to not be made under the guidance of series creator Hideo Kojima, Metal Gear Survive, sees you playing as a soldier for a mother base who has been sucked into an alternate reality filled with zombie-like creatures. With co-op and online multiplayer, you can either play alone or with others to survive, as you try and fight your way back home. What to make of this game?
Well, I mean, no Kojima, so people are upset. Because he didn't part ways with Konami on particularly good terms.
As he's very, very fond of saying.
That's putting it very lightly.
Yeah, but I mean, they had this amazing engine, the Fox engine, and they only made Metal Gear Solid 5 with it. So it sort of makes sense to take that technology and try and do something else with it. Why they're calling it Metal Gear is, I mean...
Yeah, I don't have a huge amount of experience with the Metal Gear series, but even I, having played quite a bit of Metal Gear Survive, I can kind of tell, like, I don't think this is anything to do with Metal Gear, at least in the bit that I've played. It might be that once the story starts to open out, suddenly, like, I don't know, Big Boss is back or whatever, but I doubt it.
No, they're not going to bring in any of
I don't think it's going to have anything
Everyone's been sucked through a wormhole into, like, a weird desert dimension, and there are zombies. Because it's using the Metal Gear Solid 5 engine, it plays really well. It feels great, all the guns are great, like, the traps work really well. I guess they're hoping they can like trade off some of that name recognition of Metal Gear, because it doesn't really feel like it has a lot to do with it, apart from the fact it's using the same character models and the same gadgets and weapons from the game. But I mean, you could just reskin it quite easily and make it something else without infuriating all of Metal Gear's very vocal fans. Who
are, presumably the ones that you're trying to court by putting the Metal Gear label on it. I can't imagine there are that many people who are au fait enough with Metal Gear to be like, oh great, a new Metal Gear game and buy it, but who won't know the slightly turbulent backstory to the game's creation.
If it was sort of pitched as a budget title and it was like, £15 and you get like 20 levels of wave defense or something, then you don't really have to stick a story on it, and you're just like, look, we've got these gameplay mechanics, why don't you use them to fight waves of zombies? Then you'd be like, all right, fair enough. But yeah, trying to make it a whole standalone, big AAA full-length game, I don't know, it just seems like it isn't going to really sustain that. But I don't know, haven't seen anything of the story yet, so I don't really know.
We will see. Moss is a VR game with a bit of a twist. Whereas most VR games see you playing as the hero in first person, in Moss you play as almost an assistant to adorable mouse hero Quill. You watch her in third person, helping her through her adventure by manipulating the environment and solving puzzles with her as a spirit-like creature. This is one we can't wait to see, mostly because Quill is adorable.
So what, mice get assistants now?
Yeah.
What does a mouse need an
Would
assistant
you like
for?
to be PA to a mouse?
Like go filing all the mouse's invoices and...
Yeah, Mickey Mouse has presumably assistants. He
Probably,
certainly has a lot of invoices, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I can never get through to him on the phone. It's always
No.
his PA, so...
Yeah, stonewalled.
Mickey's in a meeting, well...
Yeah, well, when's he going to be out? We don't know.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
sure, heard it all before.
Yeah, well, I've got a good idea for a Disneyland ride, so get him to call me back.
Yeah, cool.
You're missing out on Andy Mountain, that's
cool.
all I'm saying.
Moss though. So yeah, the mouse looks adorable. I really do like the idea of playing a VR game where you're not the protagonist and you have to like help an AI creature through the world. I think that sounds kind of fun.
So it's like not first person or third person.
Yeah, but like
second? No, wait, not second person.
like hovering over the shoulder assistant mouse PA.
Just doing like you're a ghost or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think the challenge that VR games have is justifying being in VR in the first place. So I'll be interested, having played this, to say, you know, could this have worked not in VR? Because some VR games, you know, they are very fine experiences, but at the end of it, you're like, I think I probably could have done without the VR-ness. I'm not sure it was intrinsic to the experience.
Do you think it's a better game like this than if you were controlling the mouse, just doing the stuff?
It's hard to say, but then if you were just controlling the mouse, then would there be anything particularly notable about it? I mean, I think it would seem like a kind of like many...
Just another mouse platformer.
Just another mouse platformer. Come on, we're so done with them. 2D platforming adventure game Owlboy sees you playing as Otis, who can both fly and pick up and throw objects at his enemies. Having already been released last December on PC to critical acclaim, this month sees the release onto all 3 main consoles. Its charming pixel art style brings an intriguing world to life as you save Otis's village from pirates.
Kind of sounds like an insult, Owlboy.
Hey, Owlboy.
Like you'd be at school one day and accidentally cough up a pellet of like rabbit
mouse bones, yes.
And they'd be like, "Oh, Owlboy!
Owlboy!
Oh, what's wrong, Owlboy?
Turn your head all the way around.
Can't digest bones." And then that'd be your nickname for the rest of high school.
The other kids laugh, shoveling down fistfuls of rabbit bones.
For just crunching them down. We like the taste.
We can digest them with ease, not like you, Owlboy.
I really like the art style.
Yeah.
Like the pixel art looks super good, and you know, platforming, flying, being an Owlboy, throwing things at people. It all sounds good. It's hard, isn't it? Because with these indie games, sometimes you look at them and it's quite hard to figure out what's so good about them. Like often people are raving about them. I had this with Night in the Woods last year. Oh yeah.
And people go, "Oh, that's amazing, amazing." And
that looks really good.
You watch the trailers and you're like, I mean, it's very pretty, but I don't really understand why it's amazing. And often with these smaller indie games, it's all in the story or the dialogue or the way that it's told or just the way it's put together. So I think this is going to have to be one that you're going to really have to play to get the sense of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So those are the February games.
All those games in such a short month.
In such a short month.
Of February.
Really packing it in. It's not even a leap year.
It's only 28 days and yet such games.
So many games. What is your pick, Andy? What is the one? If you could only play one and all the others were going to be burned in front of you, which
I
one
have to
would
watch them be burned in
you
front
have to
of me.
watch them be burned? Which one would you choose to play?
I'm going to play Bayonetta 2 on my Switch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will be looking forward to Shadow of the Colossus remastered. It's a big remaster month, I guess. But also super realistic night adventures. That is going to be fun.
Sounds good.
Is there a game that we've missed? There almost certainly is. If you've been watching this and you've been screaming at the screen, why haven't they talked about this game that's coming out this month? Then pop a note in the comments so that other people can see it.
Or just scream louder, we might be able to hear you.
Theoretically, if you scream loud enough, I suppose anyone could hear.
Yeah,
if you have a lever big enough, you could shout at the whole world. I think that's just basic science.
I think that's your Wii U well. I can hear the,
no.
the plaintive screams coming from.
So let us know what you're looking forward to, let us know what other games are coming, and let us know what that we've talked about you are most excited to play. And check back next time for much, much more. So from me and from Andy,
Bye.
it is goodbye.